A little over half a year ago, I first reviewed the Nreal Air AR Glasses. Sorry, Xreal. Anyway, you may have seen numerous clickbait thumbnails and videos claiming that these are the ultimate accessory for the Steam Deck. But before you jump to conclusions, let me assure you that I wasn't paid by Xreal, nor was I given a sample pair of glasses to promote their product. This was purchased with my own money, and if you haven't watched my original review, I recommend checking that out before diving into this update. But make sure to come back for this one, please. So how do the Airs fare now, about 6 or 7 months later? Have my opinions changed, and have my use cases changed? Let's find out together. To recap, the Xreal Airs are branded as AR glasses that are essentially able to provide a big screen experience in front of your face, dominating your central vision. Like I joked about in the intro, the company rebranded recently as Xreal, so if you see the names used interchangeably, that'll be why. In my original review, some viewers criticized me for labeling them as, quote, AR glasses. However, I wanted to clarify that this term comes directly from the product's name. According to Xreal, the glasses augment what you see, which is not technically incorrect. They do not provide a mixed reality experience though, as many people might assume when you think of AR. Mixed reality generally involves interaction with the environment, which the Xreal Airs don't offer due to their lack of tracking capabilities, like front-facing cameras found in VR headsets like the Quest's, Pico's, or even Xreal's own Xreal Lite glasses. With that clarification out of the way, let's discuss how my experience with the Xreal Airs have evolved over the past 6 months. Initially, I wore the glasses all the time and used them almost daily with my Steam Deck. These days, I primarily use them when commuting and gaming on my Windows handhelds, such as the Onexplayer 2 and ROG Ally. I also occasionally use them with my smartphone when walking my dog. This use case has proven quite enjoyable despite my initial complaints about Samsung decks not being fully compatible with the glasses. Basically, I've grown accustomed to it and even appreciate how it functions, with 2 caveats. First, the central image I spoke about previously is indeed a limitation because of the 46-degree FOV. And second, the size of the image I talked about in my initial review does in fact seems to be tied to how far you are from the occluding object. I'm not sure what kind of sorcery this is, or if I just don't understand the technology, but essentially, the screen will look as small as holding up a phone to your face if you're sitting at a desk against the wall, or it can look as large as a 130-inch TV as they described when you're sitting across the room from a wall. It's hard to explain, but let's keep going. Also, in my initial review, I complained about the AR space functionality being limited, and yeah, that really hasn't changed. The AR Space app, which I said was bad but could be improved, hasn't really, or at least it seems to function basically the same as it did in the original review, with just a few apps and the ability to browse/watch videos. I can only see the same Dua Lipa or Somi video so many times. Take that for good or bad, that's up to you. Now, I don't have any other smart or AR glasses to compare the experience to, but Xreal has been developing a Windows app for a while now. And I was hoping it would be ready for this follow-up review, but it's still in beta. So as of this video, it doesn't seem to function the way it was supposed to. Granted, I may be using it in an unintended use case by plugging it into my Windows handheld, but I do think that that use case meets the basic requirements. So unfortunately, if you were hoping to use these glasses as a secondary monitor while being able to manipulate the aspect ratio and viewing distance in Windows, that may or may not work for you. The potentially good news is that the company is now launching an add-on device called the Xreal Beam, which, as I understand it, has its own system on a chip which allows you to cast or stream the video from a connected device to the glasses, or plug it in directly, acting as a kind of bridge between, say, your Steam Deck and the glasses. Clearly, nobody told them that adding more X's means they can jack up the price more, just like AMD. But currently, it's up for pre-order for $109 plus shipping and tax, and it's supposed to go up in price after the pre-order. Now, I don't have one yet on hand, as my pre-order hasn't shipped, but my understanding based on some demos posted online is that it gives the glasses some added functionality. So imagine this scenario. You have your ROG Ally dock, then the glasses are plugged into the Beam device, and then you can walk away, grab a Bluetooth controller to play on your couch with that big screen showing in the lenses. Of course, this setup does mean you're spending more money on this Beam accessory, and you need to buy another controller, but it isn't something you can do without it. Alternatively, I'm going to assume that they want you to be able to connect to a home console like a PS5. and then stream the game to the glasses while you're holding a DualSense controller from a distance. So there's that. So are they still worth the money now? Before I answer that, here's a word from the sponsor. Nobody, because the channel is way too small for that, so do me a solid and hit all those buttons you see on screen and check out the links in the description. Most of it won't cost you anything, and all of it goes a long way to helping the channel and the community grow. Thank you. So would I still buy these now? That's a tough one. The price hasn't really changed in the past 6 months or so, and neither has the functionality. ROG, a competitor, has also just released the new ROG Max, which increases the FOV slightly, but of course, that price is even higher than these Airs are at nearly $500. So the price of these Airs and that Beam accessory together. That is definitely not the kind of price movement we as consumers want to see. Given all of this, it's hard to make a strong recommendation for the Xreal Airs right now at the original price tag of $380. To be clear, I still stand by what I said previously about seeing greater adoption if these glasses prices drop to say $250 or $300, but today they're still a bit pricey. So if this interruption seems abrupt, it actually is. With how long it took for me to put this video and script together, Apple has announced the Vision Pro headset and changed the conclusion of this follow-up review of it. The Xreal Airs are not the Vision Pros, but obviously they cost about 10% of a Vision Pro, and that price changes to about a sixth of the cost if you include the Beam accessory. And that has to count for something. The fact that you and probably your whole family could each have a pair of these glasses and maybe throw in a couple of handhelds, all for the price of one Vision Pro, makes me rethink things. If I was on the fence about buying them now, I would just wait longer. If you can afford to buy them and are okay with the limitations and specific use cases, great. And if not, well...
The more you buy, the more you save. That's the only thing you have to understand.
No, don't listen to that guy. But do join me again next time for all things portable, and check out these reviews on these handhelds right here.
GG.